A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this channeling session, I would be talking about the key lessons on selfishness versus selflessness and empathy. Now, empathy and selfishness cannot go hand in hand, right? How things happen in the twin flame world is, let me give you one interesting information over here. Lot of people actually think that one of the person is the awakened twin and the other is the sleeping twin. Now, how can that be? If both of them are the same, then is it possible that one person is awakened and the other person is not? That's not possible, right? So they say that the feminine is awakened one and the masculine is the asleep one. That is not correct, my friends. Awakening is basically a process. It's a step-by-step process, like how you walk up the stairs. You cannot just reach the top of the stair in one go. You need to walk on all the steps. You might, if you're faster or if you have very long legs, in both the cases, you can still skip some step, like one step or two step, but you still have to walk it up properly, right? Now, same is the ascension journey and same is the awakening. In certain areas, the feminines are more awakened or they know those things very well. In certain areas, the masculines are awakened and they know about those things. So, one person is not fully awakened. If one person was fully awakened, then why do we need to do all these channelings and podcasts and informations and inner work and therapy and all that, right? So how does it work? Basically, if they are mirroring each other, one person will learn the lesson, but they will learn it via inner work, but they also will learn the lesson. So if the feminine learns the lesson on empathy, on sympathy, on unconditional love, on one love, on parenting, on abuse, on how to release abuse, the other person will also learn the lesson on the other side. So you can't just say that the masculine is selfish. The masculine is selfish, but even the feminine has to be selfish in some other area. But when she understands that, yes, I'm being selfish over here, or I'm not understanding the whole thing properly, I'm just making my own perceptions and getting upset, or I'm acting like a victim. So one person releases that victimization, that you can't be a victim until and unless you act like one, right? When she understands this, the masculine on the other side will stop victimizing someone else, or he in some other area is acting like a victim, very helpless. So for example, we tell the feminines that you should not be codependent, right? So on her side, when she releases codependency, the masculine will release his codependency because he is also not a good decision maker. He also needs other people's intervention or advice to get things done or do his own things. He cannot decide for himself. So when she also releases that codependency, he will release it over there. If the feminine starts thinking that I'm the awakened person, I know it all, I can never be wrong, then what's going to happen? He will also think the same way, that I'm not wrong. She's the one who's wrong. She's the one who's making all the mistakes. Okay? So we need to be very smart with this. Okay? We need to be really smart with this and we need to learn it by our own practical experience. Now, in some cases, few lessons are opposite polarity lessons also, which means that the masculine also possesses those qualities, but in some opposite angle, okay, in some opposite area. So in this particular session, what is being shared over here with all of us is that being selfish is a big hindrance, okay? When we are being selfish, or say we want to do something for ourselves and we forget about everybody else, we think that everybody else is wrong. Okay, I want to do this, they're all stopping me, they're all jealous of me, they don't understand me, it's their fault. Okay, that is the wrong way of thinking. So maybe the feminine wants to do something. She has been trying to do something for say last 4 years or 5 years. And suddenly that thing works out for her. Okay, for whatever XYZ reason. Maybe she has put in a lot of effort. She has put in a lot of hard work. She has also given it many nights. She has not slept properly. She has given up on many things. She has sacrificed on many things. Now both the feminine and masculine are technically, they are nice people. They are good people. They are good at heart. But the only thing is that when you don't learn the lesson properly, you are going to put the blame on other people. The whole world is selfish. The whole world is out there to get me. Okay? We need to shift that. We need to change that. We need to understand that people are just people and everybody has to live their life. Everybody is struggling. Everybody is having difficulties and we need to let it go. How can we be more selfless? We can be selfless by forgiving. Forgiveness is the best way to become selfless. Sometimes you don't want to forgive someone. Sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes you have to stop pampering people. You have to stop giving in to their tantrums in some cases. But again, you have to do it very selflessly and with the touch of love. Okay, I do love this person. This person does not understand certain things in a certain way. But if I don't say anything today, if I don't object it, if I don't say no to it, if I don't refuse it, then they will continue to think that this is the right way to live their life. And when you make that decision of not giving in to their tantrums, then you have to be very strong about it. You can't, make one decision, say something right now, and then 5 minutes later retract from it, or 5 minutes later, or 1 day later, or a week later, you go like, oh, now it doesn't work. And forgiveness is a very beautiful thing actually. Most of the people don't know it because till the time you don't forgive someone, you don't really know how beautiful it will make you feel. Now the next lesson is for empathy. Most narcissistic people. So what is narcissism? I want to talk about narcissism and narcissistic disorder and abuse from a different perspective, from a different angle. Okay, I've been trying to do that, but I want to focus more and more on it because in the twin flame journey, we feel that the divine masculine has been extremely selfish. Extremely selfish because he only wants to do good for himself. He doesn't care about the feminine's feelings. He doesn't want to understand her perspective, her side of the story. He's just getting angry for no reason, or he just got upset for no reason and then ran away and then found someone else also, or found something else to do. Okay, so he's very selfish. But in some area of life, maybe the feminine is also being selfish. Now she might think, or someone who's in the feminine energies might think that what have I done? I don't have anything. I don't have how people are pampering him. I don't have that. I am single right now. I'm not getting into a relationship right now. He's the one who's enjoying all the perks. But the feminine is smart. She is not getting into the relationships with other people simply because she knows she has been into those relationships. She has already done those things. So she also does not want to do it. Otherwise, if you want to get into a relationship with someone or you want to do something with somebody, who can stop you? Can anyone stop you? No. And I'm sure they also have their options where they can go have fun, they can have a good time, they can go out on a date, or they can do all those things. But they don't want to do those things because they find it boring and they find it waste of time. They'd rather be in devotion. They'd rather make something nice. They'd rather do some mission work. They'd rather cook or clean. They enjoy those things. Being a feminine, most feminines, when they are in the ascension process, they enjoy living on their own. They enjoy spending their time. They enjoy doing all those things. Like how divine feminine, when they were girls, when they were little girls, how they could play with the dolls all day long. They would talk to themselves. They would play it with the dolls. They'll have their own kitchen set. They'll have a small kitchen set where they'll be cooking fake food and then serving it to everyone. They'll make their small little toys. They are so happy in their world. That's exactly how we should be eventually. Like a child. But a child who has a responsibility. A child who is a contributor in the community. so that when you go back to your own planet, or you go back to your own home, your original home, you know that you have spent all these years on planet Earth doing something worthwhile, because your actual work starts when you get into the mission work mode. Okay, before that you're basically in the school, duality school. I call it the school of duality. This is where you learn all of your things, you find out your mistakes, you find out, because when you find out about your mistakes, you actually find out about the mistakes that human beings do on the whole. And when you figure it out, you're able to forgive other people, because you're going to think that if I can make this mistake, being so smart and spiritual and being so conscious and aware, if I can make all these mistakes, if I can be so stupid, I am sure others can also be stupid. So if the masculine has a certain addiction, the feminine also has a certain addiction. When she releases a certain addiction from her life, automatically the masculine is also going to release those addictions. In some cases, it might look like, the one person is doing something and the other person is having an effect of it. But it could also be that both of them are going through the same process at the same time in their own individual setups. Okay, so it's technically happening at the same time for both of them. Now, in some cases, if the feminine feels that no, I cannot shed my ego over here, I cannot do this or I cannot do that, it's against my rules and regulations, maybe she is being very difficult. Okay, she doesn't want to do it physically, then she should do it mentally, like mentally forgive herself for making a certain mistake or having a wrong perception about someone. Say she has a friend. How does it work? I'll tell you. Say feminine has a friend, because she has to do inner work, right? So she misunderstands that friend and she fights with that friend. It's a girlfriend of hers, and she says mean things to her, and she says that this woman is a very bad woman and blah blah blah. Now on the other side, the masculine is thinking similar things about her, that she is a bad person, he's going to fight with her. So the feminine blocks that friend and she does not want to talk to her anymore. Okay, she thinks that this person is evil person or stupid or just not worth it, just not, even if the friend is giving her good advice, even if the friend is telling her the right things, that you should not do this or this is not correct, and she goes like, no, how do you know? You don't know anything. You don't know anything. You're stupid. Okay, and they have a big fight. Now after she blocks that friend and after she forgets all about that friend, on the other side, the masculine feels the same thing about her. And there is this silence or there is this ego war or something is going on. After 6 months or 7 months, the feminine realizes through her life lessons that her friend was not wrong. She was not saying something wrong. She was the one who was saying the right thing. And now she's finding it very difficult to contact her or to call her or to tell her that I'm sorry. But she does not want to understand that the masculine could be going through the same thing with her. If she is taking so long to contact her friend or tell that woman that I am sorry, I made a mistake in my judgment, you were right, I was not right back then, and if I said anything mean to you, I am sorry, I apologize. I don't expect us to become the same type of friends again, I don't expect you to come back to me again, or I don't expect things. I did not even try to think that your life is also difficult, or you may be having some kind of experience, or maybe it is this friend of the feminine who actually helped her become spiritual. Maybe this friend was already doing some type of meditation work, or she was already spending time on inner work, and she inspired the feminine to make a move or take this up seriously. Okay, similarly, this is how the feminine had inspired the masculine to become more spiritual. But back then he was not ready to listen to her. He was believing some other family member, he was believing some other friend. In case of the feminine's friendship also, she also must have listened to someone else, and she must have made a decision based on someone else, a very crooked person, a very shrewd person, or a very selfish person. But over a period of time, say 6 months or 1 year, she finally learned the lesson. She finally realized that the person who was poisoning her mind against the friend was the wrong person indeed, and my friend was not wrong. But how do I say sorry to her? Because now she is embarrassed, or maybe she deleted the number. Now she doesn't know how to contact her, how to find her out. In this case, she simply should pray to God, ask for forgiveness, and tell God to find out some way, or maybe she has to look up the old phone book, maybe she has to do some Facebook hunting, maybe she had blocked her from everywhere and she's not, out of her ego or out of her, own guilt, she's not able to contact her friend. So this is how lessons are learned. One person will learn the lesson in the inner world or inner work field. But their lessons are primarily going to be with family and friends and mission and food and health and lifestyle and forgiveness and things like that. Sometimes the lessons are going to be very difficult also, very strong also. Like say for example, the feminine has a certain addiction, and maybe it's not alcohol or cigarettes or something, but it is something else. Like maybe she drinks a lot of tea, and she drinks like 14 cups or 12 cups of tea in a day. Now she feels that I'm not addicted because I'm not drinking alcohol or I'm not smoking a cigarette. Okay. But the masculine is a alcoholic, or masculine is this and that, and she's very upset with him. Over a period of time, she falls very sick. Okay. And the doctor tells her that you can't have so much tea because you are addicted to tea. This is insane amount of tea that you're having. This much tea you should not have. This is really bad for health. And she realizes that all her bad health is happening because of this habit of hers. So here she releases one habit of hers, and on the other side he realizes that he should not drink so much alcohol. Maybe he also falls sick. Maybe he also goes through some transformation. Okay. So similarly, they learn this lesson on selfishness and empathy. She feels that I have also been very selfish and I have also not understood other people's point of view. I have also been very stubborn and very stuck up. I've been blaming everyone. I've been abusing everyone. I've been cursing everyone. And on the other side, when she clarifies everything and she comes on a common ground and she sees that yes, all these people also have their own perspective and they are also living their own life, and thus I need to forgive them, because if I carry all this anger in my heart, it's going to make me sick, or it's going to make me upset, or it's going to make me unhealthy, or it's going to make me poor, or it's going to make my growth also stop. If God is giving me so much, especially ascension is a gift. If you're living such a beautiful life where inner work is so important for you, source integration is so important to you, then you got to thank God for all of these things. And when she makes that shift, the divine masculine will also make that shift. This is how it works, right? And for personal readings, for private sessions, and for counseling sessions, you go through the description box. All the information is given over there, and whichever information you feel resonates with you, you want to take that up, then you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. If you plan to take up a reading, then don't tell me anything about your journey in advance, because if I know everything in advance, then I cannot make a genuine and correct reading. Okay? During the reading, normally it happens when I'm revealing the answers, we do end up discussing about the twin flame journey. So we will discuss it out during the reading. And also for the therapies, you need to share different facets of your life with me, and once you share, we discuss those parts, then we can heal the wounded inner child. We'll find out where exactly the trouble is coming from. Because you have to understand that if you see your life happening in a certain way, it's because the energy is somehow projecting from within to outside world from you only. So if you don't heal the wounded inner child, you will not get into the 5D union, and without the 5D union, 3D union is not possible. This is the reason why. Because we need to release all those traumas, we need to release all those upsets and pain bodies. Okay? And on this note, I would be closing this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.